Franki and Michelle show.
The show that came about when Frankie wanted to cancel on me because she thought I was a rich bitch.
That's a story for another day, isn't it? So if you wanted to check us out at Franki and Michelle.
Today's show, When Style Becomes Your Brand, we'll be talking about how branding and styling are equal and the impact it can have on how you feel. But first, a little bit about us. Franki.
Okay, so I'm Franki, 3 children, married for 21 years. Eek! A personal stylist by trade. I have been for the last 10 years. And I also am a youth worker. And I also do a million other things that I can't think about at the moment. But
Awesome.
you will learn more,
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
I'm Michelle. I'm a branding strategist and I have 2 kids. I married my high school sweetheart. I absolutely adore coffee and cannot live without vodka.
Oh, yeah, I'm the gin. I'm gin.
Gin. Oh, I didn't know that. How
gin.
cool is that? And I own an IT company with my husband, which is terribly boring. Hence why I started my own company and I work for myself.
And that's why you're a legend.
Thanks, Duff.
All right, so today we're talking about how branding and style kind of comes together.
How they collide.
Essentially.
So Frankie being a stylist, me being a branding strategist, and I do online stuff, we realised quite quickly when the two meet, it equals perfection.
Yeah. I think for me too, when I first became a personal stylist, it was about the style, I guess, and the fashion. And I quickly learnt that it actually has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's about the person and their perception about themselves.
Absolutely.
And how, unfortunately, we do live in a world that, you know, we are judged on the way that we look.
Absolutely. Hell yes, we are.
Yeah, and it happens in that 3 seconds. So I think it's important to dress for where you're going, how you're going to impress and what you're trying to say.
Yep.
So for me, I think styling is about that.
Absolutely.
And trying to tell a story about yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get people come to me and they say, you know, I want this style, but really it's not what they want.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that style is different for everyone.
Yeah, it makes us unique.
It
So how
does.
do you find that style for that person? So they come to you going, I really want to look like this person. I'm going to this event. How do you hone in on what they really want?
I think it's learning about the person.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with the style in essence. So they'll come to me and they'll say, I'm a mum, or I do this, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. So it's kind of reading the outside before you can go on in. And then a lot of people go, oh, I like to look corporate. And then you put corporate clothes on and they're like, ew.
Uncomfy, unhappy, not right fit.
So it's just a matter of working with the client and developing that kind of style that makes them comfortable and makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Because I always say to my clients, I can put you in a million different things that look good on you, but if you don't feel it,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. You're going to end up with a wardrobe full of clothes
that you don't wear, waste
that
of
you don't
money.
wear.
Yeah, totally.
And, you know, it's learning how to shop for or learning to wear what you're going for. So if you're going for a job interview, it's dressing the right way for that job interview.
Yeah.
It's dressing for the right place on where you're going. So if you're going to a formal occasion, learning how to dress properly for that formal occasion.
Yeah.
I think, it's learning how to, I'm a bit of an old fashioned when it comes to things like that. I'm very big on fashion etiquette. So I think that the rules have kind of been dimmed over the past
so.
years.
Like I went to a ball recently, a couple of years ago now, sorry, and I wrote a blog post before I went saying how wrong people get it.
Yeah.
And it's really not complicated because people would wear the wrong jacket, the wrong handbag, they bring a day bag. And I thought, when did it get lost? Like it was just when I grew up, you knew the fundamentals and you knew what to do when it was a black tie ball. And I went to this ball and a girl had a Lorna Jane gym top on with a ball skirt.
No, she fucking
She
did.
So I made my way, beeline to her straight away and, got chatting with her because she was going to be a great personality for the night.
Yeah.
But fundamentally wrong for the event. It was a cancer charity event. It was just, I could not believe it.
I think for me, the one thing that women get wrong is the races.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it's autumn. So,
Yeah.
you know, you cover your shoulders. It's closed-toe shoes.
Yeah.
It's not like being tanned and wearing a short dress and high platforms
So
and
they're going to
stuff.
sink in the grass anyway and they do get it wrong. Yeah. No.
So I think it's trying to find that happy medium.
Yeah, between that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I find the same online.
Yeah.
So the stuff I teach my clients is very similar. So if you don't work within your color palette that you enjoy, you just think that'll be the color palette that'll hit. That'll be the thing that I will be drawn to. And I keep saying to them, if you don't love your colors, you're not coming back to it. You're going to have a feed that you haven't looked at for 12 months that you're not enjoying, and because you think you have to be a certain style. If you don't love it, if it's not you, it's not authentic, and you're trying to be something else, it doesn't work.
So what kind of people do you find come to see you when it comes to things like that? So are they lost, as in they've hit a roadblock?
Well, quite often, majority of my clients just lack the confidence to be themselves online, and they need permission.
Yeah.
And I'm the person that gives them that permission because I give them a framework to follow. I send them home with homework. It's probably very similar to what you do.
Yeah.
And I say, well, this is what we're going to do. And within that, they find themselves and they find their confidence.
Yeah.
So I have clients who have event companies that just can't find their niche, can't sort of differentiate themselves between other people, right through to corporate clients who are trying to stand out the most boring of industries like finance, for example, trying to be trendy. And it's like, well, you can't be trendy because you're not in that age bracket. Let's find you a new happy medium where you fit in. So it's usually just exact same thing,
finding your niche,
finding who they really are, and making them comfortable within that, then showing them how to do it.
Yeah,
that's how basically.
And I think for me too, it is on confidence as well. It works a lot, and that's what I say. Once you've got that confidence to know what your wardrobe is doing, you'll have that confidence to rock up wherever you want to go, wherever you want to show up to. But you've got to have that confidence in your wardrobe to know that you're feeling okay with 100%. Yourself. And the feeling is what makes us rock it in the morning.
And feel good. And put that photo of yourself online is hard because people are like, I don't want to. They feel posy. They feel like they shouldn't be doing it. They don't have the right to do it. It's like, but if you feel confident in who you are, and I always say too, like style matters. What you're wearing matters when you're going to do that. Yeah. If you feel confident, go for it. Like just don't worry about it.
Well,
just
I think nothing else matters when you feel good, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you feel like shit,
then
you do shit.
Absolutely. But you are going to get a little bit trolled every now and again. I always say, like, I had an article go viral on, got picked up one of the big newspapers across the world, and I had radio interviews and things like that. The first comment online on the worldwide site was, why would you take advice from her because she's fat?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, and my husband rang me and he goes, you okay? I'm like, fuck yeah, I got a troll. I was so excited to think that I was famous enough to be trolled. I got quite excited.
I mustn't be that famous because I haven't been trolled yet.
You haven't?
But I do realise, when they share your photo, I wonder, are they saying, gee,
good or bad? Yeah. Yeah, you do have that self-doubt.
What the fuck is she wearing? Or, oh my God, that's amazing.
No, it just it can bring about a certain level of intimidation to put yourself out there, and that can be the same in styling too. Like I know when I wear an outfit that I think. Today I'm wearing overalls that when I first bought them, thought, oh my God, what is everyone going to think? And you hesitate. You're going out the door and you're worried and you're concerned about who you are. And the same happens online. Like it happens in person and it happens online.
Right. And so how do you get them to kind of change their ways?
So I do baby steps. I find what's comfortable. So we work out our colour palette, like what are we going to use within your branding that you love, because colour sparks joy and it makes you want to come back. And then we find the audience, what they're trying to target. So if you are going for that new job, let's target that corporate vibe, and they seem to be comfortable in it because they're trying to achieve a goal. If I know what they're trying to achieve, it helps them get to that process.
Do you find that sometimes people they think they want to change and then in the end
they don't?
They don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've had a couple of clients like that they feel like they're going to change and the pressure's just too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's okay.
And then they go back to their norm and they're happier. Yeah. Like they're happy because they've made that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
One question I do have for you though is I have a teenage daughter and a teenage son, but trying to find her confidence in her style.
Yeah.
That's just sort of, I let her wear what she wants to wear, but I don't know where it's going to take her. And I think that's quite hard to get a teenager to find that confidence in what she's wearing in her style.
I think your daughter will be fine because she has you, to be honest.
Thanks, babe.
But yeah, it is hard, especially this day and age because they have so much in their faces in the way of their phones. They've got TikTok, they've got Instagram, and they've got this norm of how everyone should look and how everyone should dress. And this is what I tell everyone. It doesn't actually matter. You can wear whatever whatever you want, whatever style you want, as long as you're true to yourself, true to your own body proportions, and true to your own style. It actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You know, it's like when you see a goth chick walking down the street and she looks so insane, but she looks awesome because she's got her proportions down pat. Or a hippie chick or a surf chick. It actually doesn't matter. As long as you're dressing for you and your personality and your body type and your body proportions, you can literally wear whatever you want. The only thing that's changed now is that everything's trend-based.
It really is. And it's fast fashion. And it's just people aren't buying those. I notice people aren't buying those key pieces anymore. No. And that's just trash. It comes in and out, and it just
comes in and out. It's forever changing. And I think for young girls, they're so trendy. I mean, I was never that trendy growing up.
Where is the old Target tracksuit that we all grew? I don't even think it was Target.
Dude, I used to put my fringe in 2 piggy tails, mate.
Oh, my God. Crazy. Well, actually, I grew up, my mum was a hairdresser and my dad was in real estate.
Yeah, right.
So I grew up with very trendy parents, and my mum used to have the bangles, the teasing in the 80s, and so I was quite privileged because mum would do makeup and style as well. So I always had a unique sense of how important that was. And I remember a teacher pulling me up when I was about 15 saying, you will appreciate your parents when you're older because they put effort into how they look and it impacts you. And I realised on an early age how that was important through my parents.
Well, I remember my mum, she never really told me what to wear, but she was really adamant at certain things. So because I was quite big-breasted growing up and quite hippie, she always said, you know, you want to show your boobs, you cover your legs. You want to show your legs, you cover your boobs.
Awesome.
You never do 2 at the same time. Or, you know, it's winter, you wear stockings with a dress. Like there were certain etiquettes that, you know, it's winter, you wear closed-toe shoes, you put a jacket on, you know, so there's those sort of fashion etiquette kind of things. But my auntie's super stylish. My nonna was a dressmaker, so she made my wedding dress. My auntie's a millionaire. My mum likes to sew and do crochet. I can't even sew a fucking button on, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I have come from a long line of that. But I think this day and age, because the girls have got it so much in their faces.
That's right. They don't have that.
Yeah. And honesty, they don't have honest friends.
No,
you know,
they
when
don't.
I grew up, my friend's like, what the fuck are you wearing? You're not coming to wear that with me. Whereas now the girls, they don't have that.
No, they don't.
Everyone looks good, babe. You look good, babe. Even though they really don't.
Those short shorts should not be worn.
So I reckon as long as you can teach your daughter to be confident in herself and her own style and her shape, it will change as you get older. It always changes. I always tell my clients that we as women in particular, we change in 5-year cycles.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
We change, you know, when we're 20, we change 25 because we're reaching 30, going, okay, I can't wear what I was wearing when I was 20. 30, we change again, 35, 40. Now I've changed again. I'm not wearing the same things that I was wearing when I was 35.
No,
and
I
think
it
just develops
as
you get older. So
yeah, because I always say to my kids too, they have online presence, which I manage. So I have a very strong opinion on kids should have social media, but it should be managed by their parents and not the children, because some of these kids, some of the stuff that I see, because I manage my kids' accounts with them, that I get to see what their friends are posting. And some of this stuff is out of this world. And I think that is going to stay online. They think that it's going to go away. They think they can delete it, but it doesn't. It's permanent. And they're showing off parts of their body they should never show at the age of 13. And it's scary.
So I guess my next question for you is how does it make you feel that you can change these people's lives?
I absolutely love it because the end result can be growth in their company. It can be a new job. It can just be a confidence boost. Some people who are getting divorced and they're trying to change their life and show a new side of themselves.
Isn't that interesting? Yes. I get a lot of divorcees.
You do? Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Revamping their lives.
Yeah. So they've doubled in a new hobby, an old hobby that they want to get back into that they didn't do once they got married and had the children, like art and things like that, and they want to express that and they just don't know how to do it. So you're igniting something in them, you're just sparking something, and that is a privilege.
Yeah, I think for me too, it's the building of the confidence.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much a good wardrobe or a good outfit can make someone feel. Teaching them how to change perception about themselves is really big.
Yeah.
And so when I leave a client, I'm on a high.
Big time.
Like, I love it.
Oh, yeah. And then you come down. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
You want to help people.
And you want the next
one, the
next one, the next one, the next one.
person.
Yeah.
And I help a lot of people with a side hustle. So a lot of people who are selling Rodden Fields, Arbonne, all that essential oils, but they're doing it because they want income for themselves.
Yeah.
Those women that just want that little bit of extra pocket money, which gives them a life that, little things that they want to do.
What don't you do?
Yeah. Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah, bit of everything.
Yeah, a bit of everything.
But yeah, that helps. Gives them the confidence, gives them cash. It just creates a bond. And then we're friends for life and you help in any way that you can. And yeah, that's my real passion. I mean, I do the corporate work and I do enjoy that, but it's when you can find someone that you can really help and
Yeah. I think for me, it's breaking down the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone jumps on Google and all this stuff comes up about how style should be. You know, you fit into this body shape. And it's like, mate, there's no way that 2.5 billion people fit into 5 body shapes that Google have created.
No, and your body changes over time. Like I used to be a pear, had my boobs done, now I'm an hourglass. So it's like, look at me, the whole wardrobe doesn't fit. And then it changes everything. Like it's just,
But it's breaking those rules down. So when anyone comes and sees me, I'm like, don't Google anything to do with style.
I've never heard of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like if you're an hourglass and you're 5'2", it's different than being an hourglass and you're 6 foot tall.
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Every single person is different. There is not one person that shares exactly the same body proportions or body shape. So
I say that to my kids too. Like we don't just shop in one section of my daughter and my son. We should shop in women's and men's.
Yeah,
because you do not know what you're going to find.
Yeah. So it's just breaking down those rules that everyone thinks that they should be fitting into a certain thing.
Category.
You know, it's another one. I wear black because it makes me look skinnier. No, bullshit.
Does not.
It doesn't actually. It gives the eye nothing to detract from. So it's literally staring at your silhouette. You know, things like that. Or stripes make me look fat. No. But if you've got a fat ass and you put stripes on it, you're going to look fat. You know what I mean?
It's I don't own stripes, everybody.
No, but it's things like that. It's those misconception rules that I'm trying to change. That's actually not that hard. It's not that hard to dress yourself.
I have the same too. All the stuff online and just presenting yourself. They look at it and they look at people who are doing it. I always say, don't look at someone who's 22, no children and has 12 hours in their day to post a picture of their little breakfast bowl and smoothie after they've just done yoga on the fucking beach. We're not doing that. Stop looking at that.
That doesn't happen.
Just boil it down to what we're trying to achieve for you and we'll just work out your path and make sure that you feel completely comfortable.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions that we want to talk about in styling and branding. So when I meet clients, the biggest struggle I have is what they're wearing. Like how are they going to present themselves in their imagery? Yeah. So I try and talk to them about like feeling comfortable and what would you suggest if you were going to take photos of yourself to put online for social media? What's the best looks?
Well, it depends what you're trying to brand yourself as. So I always say if you're trying to brand yourself as being bubbly and fun, use prints, use colours, you know.
Excellent advice.
Use things like that to kind of hoe people in a bit of your personality. If you want to be serious, you know, you want to have something a little bit more structured. I never say to do black ever.
Really? On photos never?
No, because it greys the complexion.
Oh, that's interesting.
So then you kind of look really tired and really serious, and people sometimes they click past that because it's what we see
it's just
all
constant.
The time.
Through
it's just constant. So you want to have that point of difference of even just a handkerchief or
but people
even
are frightened
like
of
a
colour
big,
and people are frightened of print. They just stay away from it.
But it's what hides everything.
Yeah, well, that's
true. So when
true.
you've got a solid colour or you're doing like a navy, a grey or a black, you're actually not hiding anything. So whatever you're trying to put on camera,
it's just going to show.
It's just going to show. So you're better off doing like a floral jacket if you're a woman or, you know, a bright colour or a big statement piece or some really big earrings. Something that's going to visually bring it to your face because that's what you want people to notice.
I always say to my clients too, what I do is I batch my photographs because I get absolutely like jack of just trying to take a single photo a day because I don't have time. So I try and batch my photographs and I get my daughter to take them around the house. So I'll take like 12 shots and I'll just constantly get changed. And now that you've said that, I notice the photos that do work a bit better is the ones that I'm wearing colours and I've got prints.
See, for me, I just wing it on a daily basis.
I love that you do that every day.
Because I just, I'm never in the same mood.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a psycho like that. I'm just never in the same mood. I'm never doing the same thing on a daily basis, so I'm never dressed the same. So that's another thing for me. So all my photos that I put up are just spare of the moment, daily.
Which is what I love most about your brand.
Yeah, so it's just kind of doing that. The other thing too that you need to remember when you're rebranding is who are you?
Yeah, finding that is the hardest thing for people to do.
Who are you? When you find that out is when you'll be able to develop your style. And it may change.
Well, I always say that too. Like the reality is, like you said, like, every 5 years. I always say it's every 2 years online because you find keep your profile image up, always keep it up for 2 years.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah, it takes 2 years because it takes that long for people to resonate. That's your brand. That's who you are. And changing it too often can create inconsistency and people just don't want to follow you anymore.
Yeah.
It breaks the chain.
Right.
But after 2 years, if you look back at it, you're like, oh, I've changed. Everything I do is different, or, I've upped my game, or I've just totally changed direction. And
so I remembered you saying to me that, on your stories, you should only have 5 stories because then people lose interest.
Yeah.
You're right, because now I've noticed that anyone's got more than 5. I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to know what they're saying.
So I sit with clients and I teach them all these things. Like, I've got to do all these things. It's like, actually, you don't. It's very simple. You have one profile image. You keep that for 2 years. You have 3 set colors that you use within your color palette. People think it's way more complex than it really is. Do you find that with styling?
Oh, yeah, totally. They come in and they go, that's so easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, because it is easy.
I think that's it. They Google it. They get bombarded with what other people are saying.
Yeah. And I think what ruined the fashion industry, I'm really sorry for all those influencers out there.
Tell me.
But the bloggers, the big-time bloggers that are absolutely perfect, so rich, can go and buy whatever they want.
See, they're the people doing the yoga on the beach making the smoothies in the morning. Yeah,
they're the ones
ruined it for everyone.
that have ruined it for all of us normal people that have normal body issues, normal budget, normal
amount of time, which is none.
Yeah, we can't look like that.
No.
And those pieces don't look good on us.
No, I've tried a hat several times, and I love a good hat, and I am not a hat person, and
the minimal chic. Minimal chic never fucking works.
No way, not on my body type.
Unless you are totally skinny and have got nothing hanging out.
Yeah, and who has that?
Yeah,
that's like those waif models in the 90s. Like it was just, and saying that. So when I was growing up, and we're the same age, so Frankie and I both 40. The models that were in style at that time were waif thin. They were just absolutely nothing.
They were the 90s, weren't they?
They were the 90s. They were wearing nothing. Like it was just insane. And then as a teenager growing up who didn't have that body shape, I struggled. Like I, didn't eat very much, just trying to achieve that body type. And now I look at my daughter who's like able to find influencers online that do fit within her body type for that style.
That's good. Yep.
So some influencers ruin it for all of us, but there are those little opportunities, those little snippets.
It's changing now, whereas, there was the time where it was just those bloggers. Now it's the mummy bloggers.
I love that. It's the Ashley Graham's, the big,
it's the real people.
Plus-size models that are coming out going, actually, I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated because I was on the internet showing my body, showing what and they got traction, they got influencers, they got numbers, and everyone else had to start paying attention. And it's about fucking time because some of those models are divine. And you need people to resonate with and look to. But
I think even just the real everyday mummy bloggers, like all power to them because they're just, they're really delivering a really important message.
They show it how it is. They talk about how it is. And
so 100%. Really impressed.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about branding, right? Okay. So when you have to brand a new client, what is the first step that you do?
So the first thing I do is I audit their social media. So I sit there, I book the client, I sit and go through all of their social media without them there because quite often they will justify what they've done or they'll explain, oh no, this was this and this is what I really want.
It's a bit like when I clean out people's wardrobes.
They
try and justify the top that their boyfriend gave to them when they were 16. I'm like, dude, no.
And I take that element out because I don't want to hear it. So I audit it all first and then I put together a presentation, and within that I already know what their colours are. I know their favourite colours. I know what their voice is because you can find it. So I do that first before I meet with any client. So when they come in and they sit down, I do the audit then with them and I listen to what they've got to say and how it's going to work. And I'm like, well, actually, this is how I saw it. And if I see it this way, this is how everyone else is seeing it.
Yeah.
And it's very different to the perception they think that they've put out there. So when they're going for that new job or that promotion or they're selling their side hustle or, you know, starting something new, and then they're like, oh, my God, I didn't realize that's what I was putting out there. That's the perception I was creating. So it sounds very similar to styling.
Yeah. So whenever I meet a client, I'll sit down and I'll have a one-on-one consultation, ask them about their lifestyle, if they have any kids, what they want out of the session, why they booked a session with me, because that's really important too. And then, we go and we kind of develop this style. And it's so interesting because sometimes the one thing that I do here is I would never have worn that. I would never have picked that up.
Out of their own wardrobe or
even at the store. Like I would never have worn that, but I really like it.
Isn't that amazing?
I would never pick that up.
Do you find that people just do the same? Like I always talk about with my blog, Glamour Hippie and eating organic and chemical free, I always say to people, what I buy is from the supermarket. I'm not doing anything different than what you're doing, but I'm not just buying the same thing week after week. You're in a habit. You have to break that habit. Stop at the honey section and have a look. There's 3 other brands of organic honey that you can buy.
Yeah.
You're just on autopilot. Do you think people do that the same when they buy clothes?
Absolutely. Like I had a client just the other day who would just buy clothes just for the sake of buying clothes. And so she had a wardrobe full of clothes that had no purpose.
And was it repetitive? She had the same sort of thing over and over?
Yeah, like 20 T-shirts.
Isn't that crazy?
Or like the same singlet. Like you don't need that many singlets.
Yeah.
You know, or I had another lady who had the same similar black top, 15 of them.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like you don't need that many tops in your wardrobe. So, I think people do exactly the same thing. They just get stuck until you get that person with the fresh eyes to come up and say, no, this is how you should be doing it.
Absolutely. I always say that to people all the time and they're like, how do you live organic? It's like, it's really not hard. I just buy different dishwashing tablets than you do.
Yeah.
Like I haven't reinvented the wheel here. I'm not making my own dishwashing tablets,
organic.
people. Yeah. So it's just a matter of breaking people's cycle, being that other eyes. But I think you have to be the right personality, and I think you and I both are, where people can be, you're approachable and you're friendly and you're not judgmental.
Yes.
And I think that it's scary for people to go and try and get advice in this sort of area because it is personal. And it can be hard to get a bit of hard truth.
Well, and I think too, for me, when I have a client, I can see that they're really nervous. So I kind of shut that down. Don't be nervous. I always say it's like shopping with your best friend, except I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's right.
That is it.
That's 100% right. Yeah.
So I think it's kind of creating that rapport with your clients really quickly.
Absolutely. And I choose not to deal with certain clients as well because I know once you have that initial meeting if it's going to work or not. And I find that it's not worth my time and the angst and the anxiety because we do put in a lot of hours in what we're doing to work with certain personalities. But I'd like to think they'd come back. That sometimes they're just not quite ready.
I think that people that are meant to be in your life, even when it comes to your clients, kind of come. I've never had a client that I haven't liked.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Or hasn't come to me for a reason.
Yeah, a little bit of a lesson for you too sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes they do, I've had clients where I've had to reassess what I do or say or because they've taught me something.
Forced you to learn.
Yeah, but I don't think a client ever comes to you that's not meant to come your way.
Has a client ever taught you a styling tip that you hadn't sort of
Not
thought
a styling tip, but a lot of clients have taught me lots of life lessons.
That's cool.
I always come away from a client learning something new about myself or learning something new in general.
That's brilliant.
About what they do. And I'm like, what? What is that? I didn't even know that existed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or, oh, my God, you do what? That kind of. So I'm always learning something new from clients as much as I'm teaching them.
Now, I do have a question we don't ask you the whole time. So what do you do when you're shopping with a client and you see something that you want? There's no shopping, obviously.
I have mastered that. I have a very unique peripheral vision and I'll take note of what shop it is and then I'll go back and buy it.
Oh, hell yeah. I could not help myself. That's crazy.
But I think too, for me, because I've done it for so long, unless something really, really pulls my eye in, I never go back and get it.
No.
I have to dream about it.
Then that's when you make that purchase.
Generally, it's about shoes.
Yeah, so I'm a handbag girl. You're a shoe girl.
I dream about shoes all the time.
Yeah, mine's handbags, man. Anything in the with the Chanel logo on it, I'm lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no, not me. I'm just like, give me shoes. I can,
We've all got a little passion thing that we...
So, but that's the other thing, because shoes are very important to an outfit.
Yes.
I know most people.
Well, I'm annoyed because I'm getting older and I don't want to wear heels as much. So I have this nice collection of heels that I want to wear, but it's not practical in my life anymore. I have to reevaluate what I'm wearing day in and day out.
Yeah, I'm keeping my heels because I said to my husband, when I die, or if I die before anyone, they have to throw the shoes in with me instead of flowers. I just want people to throw in the shoes.
That's really cool.
They're coming with me.
I'm going to your funeral. I'll take a couple. My handbags, if anyone puts them in the dirt, they're in so much trouble.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cool. Brilliant.
All right. Well, I guess I've had enough of hearing your voice one day, Michelle.
If you want more, go to frankiandmichelle.com where you'll find all our episodes. You can subscribe to Frankie and Michelle News, and there is so much more.
And I guess if you want to listen to our next episode, we'll be talking about when you think people have got their shit together but really don't.
Don't
Isn't
ever
that
listen
what we're talking about?
Absolutely.
No, never listen to them.
Never listen to them.
All right. Don't miss it. Peace.